Hey everyone, it's Anne, your nursing, your transformational coach. Everyone, welcome back to Food for Thought Friday. So this week we're talking about the human giver syndrome. So women especially are expected to just kind of give and give and give, right? That's kind of part of our culture. You're the mom, you're the nurturing one in the kind of the role that we've been told to play, to be that giver, giver, giver. So this concept kind of piggybacks on that um, kind of caregiver syndrome and the martyr syndrome, so the human giver syndrome. It comes from Emily and Amelia Nagoski and their book, Burnout, The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle. Highly recommend it. It's a good book. Mad Woman concepts and coming from them as well. So where have you been able to befriend him or her, your mad woman in the attic or mad man in the attic? Have you been able to befriend them this week? Hopefully so, right? So the human giver syndrome. So this is that unspoken assumption that women, some men as well, don't want to completely exclude, but as I said, culture is usually women, so I'm going to refer to that. That we should give everything, every moment of our lives, every drop of our energy to the care of others, right? So when self-care is considered selfish, because it promotes that the giver's well-being is taken care of and not the care of others. So that comes right from the Burnout book. So many women work a full-time job and then they come home and their second shift starts, right? Housework, being the mother, being the caregiver, doing the food, doing the laundry, doing all that stuff. They actually show studies have shown that women spend 50% of their work in unpaid labor. So some of that comes from that patriarchy culture. We've all kind of been blinded by it. We've had those movements where we've, kind of changed and things have fluctuated, but we're kind of still there, right? It's kind of what we've always done. So we do it. It's what it's expected of us. It's that role we're supposed to play. It's kind of what our mad woman in our attic is telling us to do, right? If we don't do it, we're a failure. That's what culture tells us. And it is kind of odd when you sometimes we think of it as odd. It isn't odd. It's perceived as odd. When the man in the family, the dad is the stay-at-home dad, and it's something that has been perceived as kind of a negative, and we need to kind of change that culture, right? We want to be humans. We want everyone to be part of the human givers um, culture. We're all equal. Everyone does their part of the job. That is going to take time to get to this point. It's a big kind of shift in that paradigm, but it can start with each one of us, right? So we often experience stress on the behalf of others. We just dismiss the consequences that it might cost us and make us have extra stress and some health issues. A giver spends many years attending the needs of others. We're kind of dismissing our own needs, right? So the stress cycle just continues, and this leads to compassion fatigue. Those of us in the nursing field, healthcare profession, or just that constant caregiver, sometimes you're just like, I'm over it, right? That leads to burnout. So the goal is to kind of stabilize you in all of this. We're not helpless. We can make these changes. We can be caregivers and take care of ourselves, right? We can do both. It's not an either or situation. Remember that saying that you can't pour from an empty pitcher, right? We need to fill our pitcher with the things for us. And then once we're completely filled up, then we can maybe help those around us. It'll just pour out of us and we'll be able to help others. And we're no help to anyone around us when we're stressed, we're tired, we're burnt out, and we're just kind of over it. So today's the day we're going to make that first change, right? Today we realize that our priorities are potentially going to be us, right? And we're going to schedule those priorities, whatever those are. I'm going to put them in Sharpie pen so we can't erase them, as I've been known to do. So put you first. Refuel, recharge, and fill up your pitcher. Completely fill up your pitcher. Don't just do a little bit and get yourself to the next thing. Fill it up completely. And then you can tackle all your responsibilities in life. So I want you to post below what you're going to schedule for you today, and then kind of stop that cycle of that human giver syndrome where just give, 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 give. If you need support in this, I am always here. Make sure you do post or message below. And as always, if you are really dealing with some major things and you need professional help, please seek that. Thank you for joining me for our Food for Thought Friday. Some major food for thought today with that human giver syndrome. Remember that I'm here helping professionals with overwhelming challenges and burnout to build that resilience and take ownership of their well-being. So everyone have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.